There we go.
Here we go. Hey, welcome to the Dialogues About Death show with your host, Chris Miller. Hi, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good to see everybody here this morning. And we have a fun-filled day of a show. We have a special guest coming on here shortly. So let's get right on into it, Mary.
I love it. Yes, today is really special. We're celebrating Mother's Day all month at Thomas Miller Mortuary, of course, because moms are awesome, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Go
Absolutely.
moms.
So today we actually have a special guest who's one of our own because today's theme is how to honor mom in a way that lasts. And we have all this amazing information about honoring mom. And who better to honor mom than a mom? In fact,
That's right.
a brand new mom of
Mm.
twins.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's double. That's double being a mom for the first time with twins.
Well, it's
Oh my
actually her
God.
second time. She has another daughter. She's going to talk about
Oh, I
that.
thought you said second set of twins. I'm like, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, so two adorable baby girls. If you guys saw the picture that we promoted the show with, they're absolutely precious.
Yeah,
Maybe
they are.
Mitzi will show us a picture of her. I didn't even prep her for that, so maybe she has one close
I'm
by.
sure
But
she does.
yes, but they are almost 6 months and they're absolutely adorable. But she is more than a mom. I mean, she
Yeah.
has an amazing history. We're going to learn about it today. She has a ministry. And Chris, she's one of your pre-need counselors, which is
Yes.
helping people um, work on their plans for the
Yeah.
best party of the life that they'll never attend, is what I always say.
There you go.
And so let me just introduce her formally.
You bet.
And then I'll let you guys have it because I know you have so many questions for her.
We
So
do.
Mitzi Bell is is evangelist at Amazing Church Lake Elsinore. She's a speaker, an advocate, a preemie counselor whose life is a powerful testimony of God's healing and redemption.
Yeah.
After surviving, and this story will
Yeah.
break your heart, by the
Yeah.
way,
It does.
surviving a childhood kidnapping and abuse,
Yeah.
Mitzi encountered the transformational power of Jesus Christ,
Amen.
which led her from trauma to complete healing, um, to be healing and purpose. Today, she passionately shares her testimony across podcasts, media platforms, and ministry events to bring hope, healing, and the message of salvation to others.
Yeah.
Mitzi is a devoted wife, mother, and ministry leader committed to pointing people to Jesus as the
Amen.
ultimate source of restoration and eternal hope. So,
Amen.
with no further ado, let's bring on Mitzi.
Good
Good morning. Good
morning.
morning, Mitzi.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much for being our guest today, Mitzi.
it's an honor. I was excited to do this with you guys this morning, and so I've been telling everybody about it.
Awesome.
They're hopping on.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I'm going to get us started. I'm going to ask the first questions because I think it's very sweet. And then I'm going to go off screen so you two can have a conversation. But to kick off the show, tell me, what's life like right now as a mom of twins? Like, what's either one joyful or chaotic moment from this week?
Yeah, so I love it. Life as a twin mom is not what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be like crazy and hard and just like all the things people tell you, double trouble, But it has been such a blessing. I feel like the Lord has given me so much more compassion with these twin girls, and my husband is awesome. So he helps change diapers, make bottles, he's rocking babies, and so it really like lightens my load. And when I have to
Nice.
do pre-need appointments, my husband's watching the babies. And so we're like a really good team.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's been
awesome.
great.
So how has become a mom, especially with Chin's, change your perspective of love, legacy, and planning for the future?
Well, so I was a mom at 16.
Wow.
My oldest daughter is 16 years old. And so it's a totally different space than where I am now. I'm
Mhm.
33, twin girls. And so obviously my mind is in a totally different zone. And
Sure.
my husband and I, we do think about the future. We think about legacy and what we're going to leave behind for the girls. We want to give them a beautiful life.
Sure.
And so we just want to make it easy for them. We grew up kind of rough,
Sure.
Mr. Miller. We grew up kind of rough. And so we just want to give them a better life. We want them to enjoy life. We want
Yeah.
them to travel. We want to do fun things as a family. And so we're just loving life right now. We're
That's awesome.
focused. We're ready.
And you know, it's so important to make those memories and share those things, even at a young age, to build those those types of like travels and things to make those memories, because they'll remember those memories as young kids, and as they get older, they'll appreciate the times that they had with you. So I give kudos to you for taking the time to start building those memories at a young age, and sharing life with them and showing them how important life is all through life, just not waiting till you're older, but going through the trials when you're younger too, and still having to enjoy life.
Right. No, that is so true. So
Yeah.
we're excited for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's inspired you to work as a pre-need counselor, in addition to being like a full-time mom, but helping families plan ahead with the attention and care that you have?
So this is actually a crazy story, Mr. Miller, because like I was kidnapped as a kid, so I got into serving families whose children were missing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with the pre-need. I got into the funeral business in 2019. I was a waitress for 8 years before that, so this was totally new for me. But I got a job offer, and 2 weeks after I said yes to the job, my siblings and I lost our dad.
Wow.
And so it was like a complete shock. It was unexpected, and it was devastating because his life was taken, and it was totally random. So I just did what I knew. I put my head down and I went to work. And all of the training that someone could get in the funeral business, I got with my dad's service. His service was the first service that I ever managed and ever worked. And we ended up burying him in Mexico with his family, which was his wishes. And so that's what made me stay in the business, because I had so much compassion for the families. And I dealt with a lot of families who dealt with loss from violence. And so they just like clung to me, because there's nothing better than dealing with someone in the funeral industry that's been there.
Yeah.
And that can comfort and help them in the way that, I always took care of families as if they were my own, and they felt that.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you there. Going through the loss of a loved one and being able to help others, because I know I have some young people working for me, and they haven't lost a parent or even a grandparent yet, even though they have the passion to serve in the funeral service profession. Until you really lose somebody and you have that empathy for them and knowing what the emotions they're going through. So I give you kudos of really kind of delving right into it. And right after your dad's death, you got into the funeral care, knowing how important it is to serve other people. And you've managed it extremely well with you and your family, but there are so many families that are unprepared. And by you giving them this service, and it's giving them a gift, and especially with the stories and your testimony of going out to tell families your story of all the things and the trials that you've gone through, I think that helps build a relationship and build a trust with the families that you're serving every day. So.
Yeah, it definitely does. And, I talked to my dad about pre-need before he died. And I was like, Dad, this is great. You have to get it. You got to be prepared. And he had everything. He had a pension. He had life insurance. He had a plan, but he didn't have a pre-need. And so he said, I'm going to retire in 2 years. I'll move to Mexico. I'll die over there. It's cheaper. And I said, okay, I believe you, because he was a man that planned, and he followed them into completion. So when he passed and he didn't have the pre-need, it was devastating. So everyone in my family got a pre-need after that. My mom, my daughter, myself, and we were huge advocates. And we were able to influence a lot of people around us because they saw what we were going through and they knew they needed to be prepared.
Yeah. And another thing to add on to that is, when my dad passed away in 2006, he didn't really have his pre-need. We had all his wishes. Since we owned the funeral home, we didn't really prepay for everything, but we had everything down. But the benefit that he had that I know that you can offer in pre-need is the travel protection plan.
Yes.
And my dad passed away in Wyoming, and he had the travel protection plan because he didn't have the pre-need, but he had the travel protection, but it's a separate policy. But that helped us and saved us thousands of dollars bringing him back from Wyoming. So I always am a big advocate of the travel protection plan too, whenever you're doing that pre-planning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
blessing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another question I have for you is many people avoid the conversation around end of life planning. Nobody ever wants to talk about it, especially when you get together like around the holidays and stuff. But why do you believe these conversations are actually an act of love?
Well, especially being someone that has experienced a lot of loss. I mean, I've started losing family members when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
So I was really young. And when my cousins passed, my aunts and uncles were stressing, going through it. We were making food to sell plates, to come up with the money. We had GoFundMe's. We did all of this work.
Yeah.
And I really believe that families deserve to grieve and
Yeah.
to rest and not
Absolutely.
have to be so laser focused and stressed out about not just how they're going to pay for the funeral, but
Sure.
how they're going to pay for toilet paper, the light bill,
Sure.
the things that we don't think about that might
Absolutely.
seem minor but are really, really big. And so that's one reason why I believe that it's a huge gift.
It is. It is so true. Again, piggybacking on what you're saying is it relieves that burden off the family, and families don't want to talk about it, but having that pre-plan, having the wishes down on paper makes it so much easier of a transition for families. Because sometimes families don't talk about it, and like you said, somebody dies unexpectedly and they're like, I don't know if dad wanted to be buried or cremated. I don't know if they wanted to have a viewing. I don't know. And then sometimes families aren't all together on the same page either, and that makes it really difficult also.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since this episode is about honoring moms, what's one lesson that either from your own mom or a motherly figure that you have that has shaped you as a woman and a mom today?
Well, I have to say my mom, of course, right? My
Okay.
mom is Susie. She was the oldest of eight, I believe 8 kids. And so she was kind of like their mom. So
Okay.
from the time she was really young, a child living in Mexico, my mom had the responsibility of like cooking and cleaning and taking care of things like that. And so when I was about 8, 9 years old, my mom would call me when she was at work and she would say, you have to cook today, get the pot, put the water, do this, do that. And I stomped and kicked. I hated it. I was so upset that she would force me to cook. And I had a bigger sister
Uh-huh.
too. So I didn't like it then, but I love it now because
Yeah.
I love to cook. I'm a great chef. My husband doesn't like to eat out in public. He would rather eat at home because that's
Nice.
how good my cooking is. And so I just really love to serve my family. I love to
Awesome.
cook for people. I like to host, and that's one of my gifts is hosting.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm so grateful for a mom that taught me how to take care of the home.
Well, you look fantastic. You look great. I have to say, I give you so much kudos because, like you said, you've raised a daughter, but now you're raising twins. So it's almost kind of starting life all over again, a second round, but you're doing an amazing job. In addition, you're balancing a career and helping families with their pre-need. And I
Yeah.
give you kudos. I'm so blessed to have you as part of our Thomas Miller family and helping the families that we serve every day. And then you follow up with them and showing them the importance of pre-planning and aftercare and just making that transition for the people as smooth as possible. So I want to thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say or add to our show today?
Well, I do want to say this because I have worked for other funeral homes in the past. But when I walked into Thomas Miller Mortuary, I was so impressed because the facility is immaculate. And a lot of families, when they come and they want to prepare services for their family member, they want a nice location. It's got to smell good. It's got to look good. It's got to be clean. And not just that, but the staff that you have, the like family environment that you created,
Yeah.
it's such a positive environment. I can be confident in selling pre-need for Thomas Miller because you have done such a great job in building up this business, and
Thank you.
I know that the community is really grateful for it as well.
Well, thank you. Those are some kind words, and I've been doing this for over 30 years now. I've grown up in it, and that's what it's about. serving people. And that's why I got back into the funeral business, because I was in hospitality management. But I figured this is one way you could give back, and serving people in the hardest times of their life, and getting them into the transition. And I want to give people the best experience they can during the hardest times in their life. And that's what we're here for here at Thomas Miller Mortuary, is just giving people that experience and helping them in their transition, and building memories of lasting memories, and things for their family to remember their loved one about. So
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being a part of that also.
Thank you. It's an honor. I'm so grateful. I love it.
Thank you.
That's awesome. You guys are so good together. I actually pulled up the picture that we used so everybody could see your adorable baby. So you might not be able to see it well with me, so I might go off screen. But we before the show, we started talking a little bit how they're so different even at this age. So do me a favor, Mitzi, like share like how each of them, what their special gifts from God are so far. Like obviously it's going to grow, but I'm going to try to put this on and see if, there we go.
Yeah, there they are.
Yeah. So Rosella, I call her my little brown baby, or we call her Gummy Bear. They have two, their skin is different. So one's lighter, one's more brown.
Okay.
Rosella, she's the thumb sucker. She's the self-soother. She like is not a crybaby at all. If she's
Is this the one on your, I mean, our left or our right?
Our left.
Our left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she's just she's a good baby. And so when her sister is tearing stuff up, she just sits back and she allows me to tend to her sister. And Romella, she's super sweet. She's really awesome. That baby is very sensitive. So, you know how they say like pets can always tell if someone's good or bad because they'll start barking or acting up.
Oh, pets, like your dog?
Pets, yeah.
Okay.
So that's Romella. She's very sensitive around people. And so we've just got to protect her and love on her a little bit extra. But they're amazing. I love them. They're already like trying to scoot around and roll over. So I got to be on my P's and Q's. And my husband, he's like pushing me to get into the gym so I can keep up with these babies.
No doubt.
Strong. You got to be strong to raise twins, and
absolutely.
I got them both in my arms, so it's not for the weak. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
That's fantastic. Chris and I are both parents of older kids, adult children now, and I was telling her this, Chris. Some old lady told me this when I was a new mom, and I was like, whatever, lady, but it's so true. She said, the days are long, but the years are short.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, so true. Like you blink and these babies will be in college or walking down the aisle at their wedding. Like it's just absolutely,
it really is
wild.
Yeah. So people tell me not to hold them all the time because they'll be crybabies. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to hold them all day long. And I do.
Yeah. You got to hold them while you can, because they won't want to be held for a while. Then again, when they become adults again, then they'll come back home. But there's always that 7 or 8 years in the teenage years. It's like, no, don't touch me. Don't kiss me. Don't do that. But now
drop me off before school. Like, let me walk by myself.
I still need my mom. Like when I get sick and stuff, I just desire to have my mom here. So
of course. Yeah. But the thing is that they always will know you're there for them. Right. But that pulling away is really how God designed them. So they can have the independence to grow and have their own life. Right. And so it's all part of it. So Chris, we're talking about Mother's Day, and now we have a nice display behind you. There's other things that people can do that we can offer at Thomas Miller. Or we call them keepsakes. So do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because maybe Mitzi can give her opinion of a new mom. What would be special to her?
Sure. We've got a beautiful line of keepsakes, and after the service is gone, you always have the memory of your loved one, but sometimes it's nice to have a special memento. And so we have partnered with several groups that have keepsake jewelry. One of them is called Forever LT.
Oh, I love Talia.
Yep. And then we have Legacy Touch. And we also have Thumby. Cool. And these are 3 companies that we work with that does exclusive type of jewelry, thumbprint jewelry. Some of them actually do engraving of photographs too. And each of them are very unique, each company. So that's why we offer all the companies, because they offer different lines of keepsakes. But some of the stuff, the first one I'll show you, I'll bring it up to the screen so you can see it a little closer, is Talia's from Forever LT. And hers is right here. And she has made some beautiful, and hers is all like customized jewelry that she has created and designed herself. And this one's beautiful. This little heart. Whoop, I'm up here. I'm on the wrong side here. This little heart one here. Then the little moon. It fell off the little keepsake here. Let me bring it up again one more time. There we go.
So what's on there? Sorry.
Whoop, no, go ahead. So these are all different types of pendants, and what they've done is we take, when everybody comes into our care, we do we have a thumbprint machine that will do the prints of the loved one. So we do this for two reasons: for identification purposes, for tracking at the funeral home. But then we also allow the families, if they like to do a keepsake, they can go to one of these companies and do a customized jewelry. So we have a lot of it for moms. We have pendants, and we have other types of keepsake. Over here, we have some Thumby jewelry. It's a larger type of heart on a pendant.
And so what that is if you can't see it, it's a thumbprint that's in the design. So you can have more than one thumbprint, right? For like Mother's Day, people
that is correct.
Kids.
So there's a couple of designs. There's a couple designs that they have, or you could do like a yin and yang. So if you have two kids, you could put both prints and then give it to your mom. So you can hold your children next to you. So it's just not for those that you've lost. It's actually bring your kids on down. We can thumbprint your kids, and you can have a pendant of your children around your neck while you're alive, which is a really cool thing. So it's a great gift for mom. Also for dads, we have some cool.
That's right, because Father's Day is coming up.
Father's Day is right around the corner. But like for those dads that are like golfers, we've got it's a golf tee, and then the little thing pops off of here. It's the ball marker thing. I don't know how this thing works, but there it is. So the ball marker thing comes off, and then it goes back on there. But then there's a money clip that you can engrave the thumbprint.
Nice.
There's also like a keychain. We've got all things for dads.
I saw a flask. That was kind of cute.
Yep. I didn't bring the flask in, but also like this one here actually has photographs, so you can engrave a photograph of the person on there too as a keepsake. So there's literally hundreds of styles. They range anywhere from about $150 up to about $200 or $300. And they either like sterling silver, 14 karat gold, a gold plate. Some of them are titanium, stainless steel. So they have all different types of metals. They range in all different types of prices. The turnaround is usually about 2 weeks, like anywhere from like 7 to 14 days for a turnaround. But anytime if a family wants to come in and do a surprise keepsake, bring the kids on down to the funeral home. Just bring them to the lobby. We can bring our little thumbprint machine to the lobby. We can thumbprint all the kids. We'll get everybody's name, put it into the system. And then what we do is we'll ship it all off. And I know the ones I think you can go up to 4 or 5 thumbprints on one of the larger coin pendants.
That's
so
cool.
if you got a large family, if you got like 4 or 5 kids, bring them all down. Dad, it's a great thing for dad. Bring the kids down and give something really personalized for your wife and for your mom.
That's awesome. What do you think about those, Midsi?
I think that's super sweet. I need to get me one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the kids in here in another couple months when their fingerprints get a little bigger. We'll get their thumbprints, and then you can wear it. I know like Keisha wears one around her neck.
Yeah, sweet.
But then when you're wearing it, when you're out there doing pre-need, people say, oh, that's a beautiful necklace. Say, oh yeah, these are my daughters around my neck. So you could even get all 3 of your daughters, on a thumbprint and get them all on there.
That would be so sweet. That'd be so sweet. And Keisha's is actually her and her best friend.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be your children. It doesn't have to be a parent.
It can be anybody you like. You just come on down. And again, we just bring the machine. It's a little machine. We can bring it right up to the lobby of the funeral home. And that would be at our main location. We do all the prints at our main location in Corona. And we do prints for all of our customers across all of our locations. So if you're a family that works out of the Sierra location or a family that works out of the Walker location, we take your thumbprint.
That's
So everybody
fantastic.
has the opportunity to do it.
That's fantastic. In fact, speaking of, we have some people from our different locations, and she says you can do footprints or handprints for babies. Thank you,
Yeah,
Keisha. That is
yeah.
awesome. And we have a lot of people checking in today. It's a popular theme. Sean, good morning.
Good
Appreciate
morning.
that. Anna, oh, about the days are long and the years are, or
That's right.
the days are long. Yeah, that one.
And the years are
Lovely.
short. That's right.
Yes, and good morning, Kathy. Kathy's from our La Sierra. She runs our La Sierra location, which is fun. And by the way, people think you're glowing.
She
Yes,
is.
yes. And people know you online as Evangelist Mitzi.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yay.
that. I love that. So many people logging in. Thank you, everyone, for
Yay.
logging in. That is so fun.
That's awesome.
Okay, well, I just wanted to thank you so much, Mitzi. This was so fun having you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say before we wrap up the show, I wanted to share that our next show, we're taking June off,
Yep.
but the next show is gonna be in July. We're gonna be celebrating America's 250th birthday.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a patriotic show, and Chris is huge in helping with the veterans in the area.
Yep.
Chris, tell me a little about you're very involved in the veterans world.
Well, we work there. There's the Memorial Day Memorial Mile March here in Corona through the Chamber Foundation. So that's on Memorial Day weekend. So if you're here in the Corona Norco Eastville area, you can be part of the Memorial Mile March, and that's from like City Hall down to the City Park.
Fun.
And then also we work a lot at the National Cemetery. So I know that we have flags across America. One of our employees, Erica Patterson, she is a Blue Star mom, and her 3 boys are in the military, and she's going to be walking in our 4th of July parade here in Corona.
Yes, I'll be there cheering for her. Yay.
Yep. So our staff's involved in the military. We give back to our local VFWs here. We actually even have a flag recycling program that we do. So if any veterans or any families have flags that need to be retired, they can bring those by the funeral home also, and we can retire their flags for them. So never let any of your tattered flags, if they're tattered or unusable, just fold them up and bring them to the funeral home, and we will go ahead and retire them in the proper manner.
I love that. I did not know that, Chris. We'll
You
do
bet.
the whole thing. We'll bring people in for celebrate the 4th. I love that.
We can talk more about that in July about retiring your flags.
Okay. That sounds great. Oh, awesome. So many things coming up.
You bet.
So again, the next show will be on July 10th. But Mitzi, I'm going to go off screen and I'll have you and Chris wrap up the show. But if there's anything else you want to share, and the fact that you're one of our premier, pre-need counselors that is doing such an amazing job out there helping families, because really, as we said in the beginning, the theme of this show is how to honor a mom in a way that lasts. Can you touch on that a little bit about why pre-need really is a gift that you can give your mom or your family as a way of showing love and peace?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that a lot of people or moms wouldn't even want to have this conversation, but there are a lot of moms that do. And I would say that they are very wise, because when we do this, we are creating peace amongst the children. We're creating peace within the family, and we're avoiding a lot of friction that can happen when we lose somebody that we love. We're not in our right state of mind. And so being a mom myself, like I've always told my family, when I pass, you can rest, you can grieve. All you got to do is get dressed and show up.
There you go.
You don't have to go to work. You don't have to put your hands to the plow. It's already settled. And so it's the gift of peace for families, really.
Absolutely. That is so true. For all the years that I've done this, Mitzi, I've seen families that come in with a prepared, or they call up and say, "Hey, my mom just passed away. I know she has something on record with you." We go in our filing cabinet, we pull it up, and we're like, "Yeah, it's right here. When would you like to come in? We just have to review it, make sure everything is current and up to date, and we'll make sure all we have to do is set a time and a day for the services." And it makes it seamless. It takes such a burden off the family. And like you said, there's no friction amongst the family. They can just be with each other to grieve and just to start sharing all the wonderful memories and stories of life that of their loved one that they lost.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Makes it easy.
I want to just thank you again for your time away from your girls this morning to spend with us and talk about preneed and the importance of preneed. And I encourage anybody out there that is listening is to give us a call, reach out to Mitzi. We're here for you. We're here for you, and anytime that you are ready to prepare, plan, reach out to either of us at our funeral home. We can guide you to Mitzi, or reach out to her directly.
Absolutely.
And she'd be more than welcome to make an appointment suitable for you. She can meet you at the funeral home. She can meet you at your home. She can meet you at wherever you feel comfortable, because we want to make this a comfortable and easy transition for you, because we know talking about death and talking about preneed is not an easy thing to do, but Mitzi will make it as easy a transition as possible in the comfort of your own home or the comfort of wherever you feel comfortable in doing it. So I want to thank you, Mitzi, for being on board with us, being part of our family, and serving our families.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
You're very welcome.
Awesome. Now you two stay on board. We're going to get a little picture. But again, until July 10th, everyone have a blessed month. Enjoy your the rest of Mother's Day month. And then Father's Day coming up. Again, think of ways that you can honor your father, because that is so important. Honor our father and mother is important.
That's right.
So until then, we'll see you next month. God bless you all. And thanks for tuning into
you.
the Dialogues About Death show.
Bye-bye.
Bye.